The last items on the list is to redo the engine fan switch. This is just a simple on, off, high, low. Somebody put it on this super janky bracket and did a bunch of, okay, yeah, I don't have to explain all that. So this is already powered up to our new fuse box. Everything on the other side is good. So we're going to relocate this thing, put not house wiring on it, and it should be good to go. The great thing about these automotive 12 volt switches is they're pretty foolproof. They're also really easy to install cleanly. Basically, all you need to do is drill a hole about that size. You slip the switch through and tighten the collar down. So these will go in the dash. If it says off on, we know we need power up here, ground down here. This is high low, so we'll do power power. It's that easy. I'm gonna go ahead and drill my holes, pop these in, wire them up, and we're all done. All right, we got the old wiring clipped down to the good stuff. I've got a new loom set up and built here. So how this will work is I will slip this end through an access hole, and my other side will simply push onto the back of the very same switches, which are now located nice and cleanly in the dash. So that's that fix, and that's all done. So this is what I would consider a basic 12 volt wiring kit if you want to get into this. You will need a pair of wire stripper clippers. Any will do as long as it has a cutter, gauged wire strippers, and a crimper on the end. This tool should be between $5 and $15 depending on how fancy you think you want to get. A box of various size connectors. This should be roughly $15. Looks like I've got all the way from like 22 to 10 gauge here. Various size ring terminals, push connectors, etc. This will get you going for a lot of stuff and allow you to actually hook up stuff safely. Make sure they are shrink tight. What happens is, and I'll show you guys when you heat these up, this shrinks down around the wire and it provides a much stronger, safer connection and keeps the water out. You will want a roll of wire. I like 14 gauge. It's overkill for a lot of common accessories and big enough to handle stuff like fans and lights. If you want to go like car audio or maybe main accessory power cables, etc., you'll probably want something more like 10 gauge. Now, a lot of people struggle with these type of connectors, the crimp connectors. There's, I don't know, a variety of mistakes you can make, I suppose, but you definitely want to make sure you're choosing the one for the wire you're using. This is 14 gauge wire. The blue are 14 to 16. And the way you push these in, I don't know if you can see, there's a little like a hook or a nib inside there, and you want to push the wire in firmly. You'll actually feel it kind of push in and around that, and some strands will get in there. And then same thing on the other side. I will go ahead and crimp one of these so you can see that process. All right. I like to kind of bundle the wires together. And you're using the correct size connector, so they all should go in there. You know, if they get caught a little bit, take your time, straighten them out. No reason to break it or force it. I'm just gonna kind of get that down there. Then you can actually feel a solid push if you're using the correct gauge wire. And I like to kind of hold it in place and get close to the end and squeeze the crap out of it. And I mean, you know, you want to kind of test that too. Don't yank it out, but if it slips out right there, you need to stop what you're doing and try again. It's not going to get better after you heat shrink it. Same thing over here. Okay, get them all bundled together. Carefully angle it in so we don't get caught. And we'll just kind of twist and push there. And that feels pretty good. Hold it in there. We'll crimp it. Sometimes I'll come back and, you know, if I think it's really in the middle, crimp it there. There are two common methods of using these heat shrink connectors. You can use a torch. If you've never done this before or you're doing it on the car, bad idea. And honestly, this leaves room for a lot of mistakes. It's quick, a lot of professionals do this, but you know, you can burn stuff up. It kind of produces a little bit of an inconsistent result. Now, the way that a lot of people will recommend doing it is just with a simple heat gun. It takes longer. You got to wait for it to heat up, but it will evenly distribute the heat without burning stuff and evenly shrink the connector. It'll always look cleaner than using a torch, and you don't risk burning the wires. This particular model was $10 at Harbor Freight, and honestly, if your wife has a hot enough hairdryer, it'll work. These are kind of your bonus loom tip here. I like to kind of tidy up the wires, get them all bundled up, maybe put some tape around my butt connectors. And I'll put a few of these really tiny worthless zip ties on here and clip them so that I have a little bit sticking out. I like to use the soft type looms. So when you put them on there, these little stick outs will actually help hold your loom in place. Beyond that, just put it in there, zip tie it on, electric tape it, whatever. That's our finished result. We've got the loom on there. I like to tape it where there's a split, and push the excess up into the dash. So nice and clean, nice and tidy.